Welcome to the 3in1 show. Uh, I want to talk about the incident that happened in Texas with this latest incident in Texas that happened about the mass shooting. The guy that walked into Texas and started shooting, and supposedly he was targeting Mexicans, and because he had a certain hate of Mexicans overfilling his country, so he felt like he could decided to take law and justice into hand and cowardly massacre a bunch of innocent people. So the interesting thing is that I was having a conversation with my friend, and we started discussing a couple subjects about the situation of the massacre, and you know, I understand, what I'm saying, the the form of justice. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh, what I'm saying, I'm all about the law because I've done a lot of criminal activities. I have a history of criminal, but I'm also not gonna sit here and play a fool just because I've done crimes, and I feel certain ways upon the way the system functions. You know what I'm saying? In certain forms, I'm not gonna be a fool to recognize that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about fuck the cops, and we don't. You know what I'm saying? Shit on the cops, because that would be a foolish thought from a foolish individual that with time you mature from a different mindset and start recognizing, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing wrong. I get caught. I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not the cops' fault for me doing the wrong. It was my decision for doing wrong. So with time, I learned. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if you're gonna do something, make sure you keep yourself smooth. Because their job is to fucking catch you, and your job is to not get caught. Simple as that. But far wise, as in the basics of justice, for any street individual that's a real street motherfucker, because I've seen uh, the biggest, the baddest motherfuckers going to prison, talking this big gangster thing, and they get put within the pressure, and then they start ratting their own people out. You know what I'm saying? The streets people got their own griminess and their own forms and ways. You know what I'm saying? That discredits. You know what I'm saying? The loyalty or the street ethic, or like we call the street code. You know what I'm saying? The G code. So I don't believe in that bullshit. I mean, time and history has taken me through from the streets to recognize that, what I'm saying, it's better to do the right thing and trying to do the legit things than do the illegit shit, wasting your time, and then you get caught up in the middle of your bush, and go away for a long time. So, we got to recognize that if there is no justice running around, these police officers protecting, the streets would be chaos, and we won't have a civilization. We just have a bunch of wild animals killing each other. So, it has its good and it has its wrong. Now, I'm due aware that certain police officers target certain individuals, also abuse their authorities, use the system for their purposes, and, like we look at today, where it's a united country, but, all of a sudden, from time the justice system came in, and some time they decided to put a war on crime, marijuana was illegal. Today it's illegal in certain parts of the country. I mean, where were you united? We're united or we're divided. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not smoking weed now, but I smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? So it's never been a problem. But when it comes to beneficials, just like alcohol was outlawed at one point in time, now it's not alcohol. Now it's a beneficial and a profit. So the system has its forms and its ways. Now I recognize uh, what I'm like to say is the form, what I'm saying, the policies that Trump has came with, you know what I'm saying, and I also recognize the way that certain Spanish people feel about the way Trump has came and approached and has this certain relationship towards the Mexicans. You know what I mean? One thing I'm gonna say, look, I'm a subcontractor. You know what I'm saying? And I was born in this country, and a lot of people have been like, "Well, he's saying that because he's born in this country or this and that." No, what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? If he was on the other side of the shoe or living in our country, he would feel different. But being the fact that he's born here, this is the way he speaks. No, I don't feel different. I understand they come from a struggling country, but I also recognize why, you know what I'm saying, certain individuals are mad at the Mexicans. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, they would carry the reputation of selling drugs. We all know this. Yeah, we also carry the reputation of doing crimes, okay? But the things that Trump reflected on was only the bad things. You know what I'm saying? The Mexicans and the Spanish also carry the reflection of hard working, and that's where is the biggest problem with a lot of white people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in general, because it's not just the white people that voted Trump in. There was a lot of mixed and all different undercover people that went and put votes in for Trump and got him elected. The only thing that Trump did, Trump inflicted what either he was told to do or whether he came up with by his own. I don't think, to be honestly, Trump was the full mind's frame behind his campaign or what he said or what he was told or how he pronounced it now. I believe Trump was the one picked for the situation, but I don't believe Trump was the one with the idea of starting this immigration policy, this wall situation, you know what I'm saying, and all these things that Trump came out with, you know what I'm saying. But what I look at today, you know what I'm saying, a lot of Mexicans work their ass off. A lot of general contractors look for the cheaper price. Fortunately, you know what I'm saying, everybody with a cheaper price. So these individuals, I've worked in Mexican crews, they work their ass off, you know what I'm saying, and their mindset is coming in here, outworking the people, you know what I'm saying, and doing it for cheap. So that brings a problem to the ones like me or the ones like these white people that have, you know what I'm saying, these companies, and now these general contractors don't want to pay you because they got a Mexican that'll do it much faster, much cheaper, you know what I'm saying, and they can make a lot more profit than hiring you and paying you them extra $1,000 than saving themselves them extra $1,000. So, most of the general contractors, as we recognize, are all white. You know what I mean? So, when a general contractor, it's like a police officer. He stereotypes you. If you're Spanish, so he's expecting a deal. You know what I'm saying? Because of the far fact that he's like, all right, he's Mexican. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's willing to work for cheap. He's gonna work hard. And he's gonna get me the job done. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna make me a lot of profit. But I'm born here just like you. I'm trying to come up just like you. I got a company. I got insurance. I got workman's comp. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these Mexicans, they don't fall under workman's comp. Because they don't even have Social Security or anything to be claimed. So most of these people, they can afford because they're not doing the things and processes and doing everything as it was supposed to be done. You know what I mean? For them to run and get these companies up and going. You see, but Trump ain't talking about this. Trump has a problem, you know what I'm saying? The only thing Trump is reflecting, the only thing Trump is talking about is the Mexicans selling drugs and they're overpopulating and they're rapists and they're killers, you know what I'm saying? And this is the only thing. But he's not reflecting what he needs to reflect on them and what is really the issue with the white people, you know what I'm saying, and the Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? The problem is that they outwork, they work for low, and they're taking a lot of people out of business, and it angers a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, they're my people. I don't care if Trump allows them to be here. I don't care if Trump decides to take them out. You know what I'm saying? I know there's policies and there's law, and they got to have some kind of they have for of entering, and we got to stand with law, because without law is the law of animal and the law of chaos. So I comprehend his form of his way of trying to get this process and this situation fixed, but I also feel Trump used that to an advantage, because he recognized that people, you know what I'm saying, his people are going to get inflicted, you know what I'm saying, by this, and this is going to help him sterilize and win this campaign. In America, we recognize today, you know what I'm saying, America, since I've grown up, has always been a black and white. It's always been, this is a country of a racist problem. It's always been like that. I mean, we say we're united, but this country is a foolish lie of Americans being united. That's a lie, you know what I'm saying? America's never been united at all. This country, since I've grown up, has always been racist, black and white, black and white, black and white. But Trump, what he did, Trump, when he came into election, was the first president to bring in, instead of attacking the black people, he attacked the Mexicans. He attacked the brown people. So he inflicted where even sometimes the black people, they don't say it, they don't admit it, but they're like, fuck these Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? They are working, taking everybody's work. You know what I'm saying? So I know, because people hide a lot of shit under their breath. People say, yeah, no, I fuck Trump. But and the low key, they go on in the police and they vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck it, let's get these Mexicans. It's hard to get a job. We ain't working. You know what I'm saying? These Mexicans got all the work. You know what I'm saying? So that's the situation, you know what I'm saying, that we had. But if we look at history is the tool of a future reference, because if you know your history, you know how to defend yourself, and you know how to present a platform to get people to recognize the subject that you talk about. We have had a lot of massacres. The Orlando, the Las Vegas, the church, the schools, this latest one with the Mexicans, and we always happen to seem to run into the white race. I mean, the ones that are creating all the crazy massacres seem to be the white race. Now, Trump, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't have a problem with Trump, but we got to recognize the reality. Trump has got to learn how to pronounce and how to speak out to the public, and we got to learn how to own up to the situation that has caused this problem. You see, because we got the president of Mexico saying, you know what I'm saying, the United States is also a terrorist country, you know what I'm saying, the terrorist country, and Trump is the cause of this situation. Whether we look, like I said, I don't have a problem with Trump, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not saying yeah or no, you know what I'm saying, but all I'm saying is, I don't believe Trump to be so much of a bad person, you know what I'm saying. I just believe Trump is being led and being told and being used as like the clown in the hole, you know what I'm saying, that you put your face in, and everybody, every time he says something, bam, throw up a pie at his face. And that's what Trump is, that clown, that hole in the wall, and Trump's face there. They put Trump's face, so everything that's going on right now, let's throw a pie at Trump. Let's blame it on Trump. And Trump has been the show since he became into presidential seat. I also recognize that Trump is stubborn, you know what I'm saying. Trump stands behind what he says, you know what I'm saying, and he doesn't like to admit his wrongs, you know what I'm saying. In a situation like this, and it's not just an apology that we asking for, is for him to step up and be like, look, you know what I'm saying, in the past, from my campaign, I have been a little bit harsh, you know what I'm saying. I haven't been completely honest. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I could have been the cause to this situation, being the fact that the ways that I have presented myself upon the speech. You see, I agree. If you're gonna do something, stand behind it. But the problem with Trump in his situation, he keeps repeating it. He keeps using that as a platform. You know what I'm saying? To get the people more influenced. And what that's causing, that's built an imprint, and these individuals that are racist and they got a lot of hate, and you know what I'm saying, and don't have nothing to lose, you know what I'm saying, and just some monsters within themselves decide to pick up a gun, you know what I'm saying, and take justice into their own hands and say, fuck it, I'm gonna go out and fucking fix this problem myself. You know what I'm saying? It's going to what we have in Walmart, you know what I'm saying? The people going in, and that guy going in there and massacring all them innocent people for no reason. You know what I mean? So, you know, if there is someone to blame, I could honestly agree with the president of Mexico. And Trump should be also the one to agree, yes, I'm the cause of this. You know what I'm saying? And he's got to recognize, in order to be a great leader, you got to recognize your mistakes, because, you know, your speeches is your speeches is controlling millions of people within this country. What you say as a leader would affect your country, your history, and whatever stands for the future. You know what I'm saying? So this is where you got to recognize and be a presidential and a leader, and being able not just say my condolences to the loss, because that's just showing us that you're just being stubborn, you know what I'm saying, and don't want to admit, and not willing to admit and stand up like a man and be like, look, hey, you know what I'm saying, I have been a little bit harsh. I have stepped up many of times in public, and keep repeating, we're going to build this wall, and we're going to keep deporting, and we're going to keep doing what we got to do. Just say do what you got to do. Stand behind your policy. You're going to build the wall, build it. You're going to deport. But don't use that, what I'm saying is, as a platform to inflict a racist tension that is created, what we see today, what the Mexican president said, a United States terrorist. And then we look at history, we know that terror comes far back, because it goes all the way through slavery, through the white hand. You know what I mean? And we all recognize that this is a white country. We all got 45th president, only one black president between them 45th president. This is a white system. So if we recognize, you know what I'm saying, the reality of today, you know what I mean, we recognize the history. We know this land was never European. You know what I mean? This never came from the English hands. This country never belonged to the white people. See, but today, that guy says he's got to defend his country. But he don't recognize this country was never his to defend. It was stolen and conquered. So today, the Mexicans are overfilling this country. So in a different, in an uncriminal way, they're reconquering the country. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, God placed a curse on this country because of the far fact of the history. And if we look at the Mexicans, you see, this is where you got to know history. Mexicans are not Spanish. Mexicans were colonized by the Spanish, you know what I'm saying, and converted into the Spanish language. But Mexicans are really Indians. In their country, they still hold certain parts of their country, they still hold the English language. You look at a Mexican, you look at an Indian, they almost look the same. You know what I mean? So these were Indians, and when the Spanish came, they colonized and changed their languages. You know what I mean? So when we kind of look at it, you know what I'm saying, this land actually belongs to the Mexicans that are really Indians. You know, so you gotta be smart, you know what I'm saying? Be smart on the way you speak. If not, you know, because the system knows this. The big brains behind the situation, That's where I know, like, all right, let's not be fucking fools. Let's not be doing assholes. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like we all about justice here. This country stands for justice when it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We send our military to kill when it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? We dominate the world. We steal from resources from all the world. We got our hands in everybody's pocket, and we're claiming we're the justice, we're the law. It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We're the most empowered country, and we're the most well-living country. And freedom rang in the 1960s or the 1940s, because to then it was slavery. It was only on the hands of the white man. So it's not just to negatize the white people, you know what I'm saying? But it's also for Trump as our white leader to stand up and be like, look, I was wrong. You know what I mean? I shouldn't antagonize the Mexicans the way I do. You know what I'm saying? And not everything is bad about the Mexicans. You know what I mean? There are hard workers. You know what I mean? There's a lot of issues with this problem because they're destroying, hard-working people's companies, and this is inflicting a lot of anger towards, you know what I'm saying, my white people. You know what I'm saying? To speak the reality, because the white man enjoys the drugs. You know what I mean? We all know the consumer, me being a street individual, the best clients and the most clients are the white people. The drug abusers, the drug overdoses are mostly the white people. You know what I mean? So if your college girl or your college kid starts getting addicted to drugs and start getting hooked and ends up in a project getting raped, by some black men or Spanish, you know what I mean? She shouldn't have been, she should have had better parenting, you know what I mean? Or maybe sometimes they ain't even the parent. Sometimes they're just too wild. They want to experience something new because they're used to having everything, and the only thing that they ain't experienced is having nothing. You know what I mean? So these people that come from nothing, you know what I'm saying, see an opportunity where a rich individual ain't gonna take advantage of that situation. It's the hand of, you know what I'm saying, fixing what's better and what fits me, where I stand and where you stand, and what square you at and what square I'm at. You know what I'm saying? You could point yourself as me being a criminal because you was born into a rich family. You was born into a billionaire family. So yeah, you know what I mean? Of course, if I was on the other side of the shoe, it'll be easy. Why am I gonna be a criminal if my father is a billionaire or my father is a millionaire? You know what I mean? I became a millionaire. It's no, the ethic behind it is simple. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna look at, even though I might do drugs or even though I might go to the Playboy Mansion 24/7 and enjoy all kind of women. You know what I'm saying? And hoes, and with these hoes, you enjoy also all kind of party treats. So let's not be fools. You know what I mean? We know how it all gets down. You a man, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? And let's speak the reality. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are all men. So to say you never done drugs, I don't buy that at all. You know what I'm saying? Because especially Trump that likes to flirt with all these women. You know what I mean? And loves the Playboy Mansion and all them hoes. Hoes come with the drugs. You know what I mean? But that's another issue with that. Does it? I don't. It's not my problem. But he's just got to rephrase and re-announce himself, and you know what I mean, and stop being so stubborn and stand up and be like, look, I apologize because I have been the one that has inflicted and I've been the cause of this issue. You know what I mean? Being the fact that I've stepped out and throughout my campaigns rejected and knocking the Mexicans. You know what I mean? And built the infliction towards my people to have this certain hate. So that's one of the issues. Another issue is I was talking with my friend. He was telling me that the girl, you know what I mean, they had a lady in the McDonald's that recorded all the issues. I don't believe that the woman had nothing to do with it, but now all of a sudden the woman is traumatized. You know what I'm saying? And she's going through all this. You see, people try to sometimes take advantage of a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? To be a profit situation. Now, I don't give a fuck about Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I know Walmart's a billionaire fucking country, and if they could get their asses, fucking get their asses. But Walmart got more than enough. But now, if it's a reality check, like I was discussing with my friend, it's the facts. Walmart has nothing to do with, you know what I mean, an individual coming in there and destroying and shooting up the whole situation. And a lot of these people that are, I understand that, yeah, they have that certain trauma, but sometimes movies bring trauma, you know what I mean? But we look at the Las Vegas, the church, the Orlando incident, all these incidents, you know what I mean? And nobody sued. You know what I mean? Nobody got no profit. Nobody, you know what I mean? These kids that seen all these other students get massacred, you know what I mean? And there was kids, you know what I mean? Nobody, nobody, it wasn't, nobody got that I heard of. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. But I haven't heard it. You know what I mean? But the way the angle of the situation and the way the woman was coming out explaining, they could tell. You know what I'm saying? She was looking. She was a wiser individual. You know what I mean? Looking for an opportunity, like she seen the opportunity of the shooting and decided to record it. She was the only one recording. You know what I mean? But she decided to get it all on footage. So, maybe in that mind she was smart. She was like, oh, I need to get this. You know what I'm saying, on footage, you know what I mean? So, kind of like, a lot of people, even family members, from a bad situation, try to take, you know what I mean, the bad situation as an opportunity. Now we can get paid, you know what I mean? Yeah, we lost our loved ones, but, you know what I'm saying, we want to get paid too, so it's kind of like a grimy and shady way, you know what I mean? You will think that, you have no respect and no money is a part, but people are ambitious. Family members, I know this, my condolences to a lot of family members that I know they hurt, but, some people just, you know, they're like, well, you know what I mean? This is an opportunity. Let's take advantage of the situation, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? If they could get it, get it. You know what I'm saying? Walmart. In another situation that me and my homeboy was talking about. He was like, well, Walmart should have some kind of security. Well, Walmart, there's no law in the United States that states that they're supposed to require security. Now, what I do have to say about Walmart, Walmart is a cheap billionaire company that they have the money to afford to put a security with a gun, armed security in every Walmart to make their Walmarts a little bit more safer, especially knowing that all these massacres are going around and their company could be a big target. So, this is the situation that you have, and I won't be surprised if these individuals are aiming all for a lawsuit. You know what I mean? And they try to sue Walmart for what trauma reasons or whatever. You know what I mean? They looking to get a little money. To get up money from. So these are the situations that they got to deal with for not having. You know what I mean? At least the security watch. Maybe the security would have been no any of no help. The guy would have probably ran up and killed the security. In that situation. But I don't believe that in a court system, they have any grounds, because it's not Walmart's really fault. You know what I'm saying? When you cut and look at it, Walmart had no way of knowing that a crazy individual was gonna run into a gun and start killing a whole bunch of Mexicans, killing a whole bunch of people on an anger issue towards, Mexican people. So if we was to blame, and sorry, and like I said, I don't have a problem with, you know what I'm saying. But the only thing that I do have a problem with is that I feel like Trump need to stand up and take your L like a man. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yeah, what I mean, I was the problem. That was the cause of the mindset, and this is the problem that we have when you don't rephrase yourself in the right phrases, and people take things in certain different ways, and some people are not mentally um, have a capacity to function in the right way and take a negative a situation like that and cause it into a negative outcome. So it's your form of repeating, and a lot of your speeches also builds that infliction, because you're constantly saying it, so you constantly programming it into people's mindsets, so it constantly building that certain hate. So being as a leader, you know what I'm saying, and not wanting future more repeating things like this to happen, you know what I mean. I think, as an opinion, as a citizen, that you should, I mean, number one, stand up and apologize, and admit that your speeches could have been is the cause of this. And number two, uh, just try to calm down on your journey, your what's the word that I'm looking for? Uh, well, your adventures and your ambition. You're ambitious to make yourself visible to the public. That, you know what I'm saying, you're the man that stands behind what you say, because that's what you presenting to the people. You know what I mean. And not only that, you're strategizing to the people to keep the people on your side and your favor, for the ones that has supported you, because your campaign was basically built on race. You know what I mean? So, like I said, bro, uh, that's the problem. This is the problem that we have, and a lot of people, you could, if God was to judge things out, you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure He wouldn't agree to the way you handling certain situation. If you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. I mean, you say what you gotta do, what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Do it. Build your wall. You know what I'm saying? Deport the ones that need to be deported. You know what I'm saying? That ain't here and illegal. But don't constantly keep coming out and repeating it, and keep showing it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm doing what I say, because that builds tension, and it builds heightenedness within the people. And that's why we have a crazy individual like that person that felt like, all right, my country, my president's on my side, and then my president's the one that put this, and this is our country, and these people are the problems in our country, and he decided to go take justice into his own hands. So I believe that, that's something that he should take accountable for. But I want to kill this subject with a final prayer to the families and the victims um, that was victims in the situation of Houston, Texas. I want to start off by saying, Father, I hope that the family members, you can comfort their hearts, and comfort their souls, for the ones and the victims that was taking their lives. You can accept them into your kingdom and place justice by your hand, whether you felt they belonged in heaven or whether you felt they belong in sin. I'm not the judge. I'm not the leader to place my judgment on my opinion, because you're the man that knows it all. You're the creator of the universe. You're the creator that sees before and sees after and knows it's wrong from right. I also want to stand out and say, bless it in your heart for Trump to stand up as an individual and fix his form and mold his heart to leave his stubbornness, you know what I mean, and admit to his wrongs for future reference and future events. He won't be the reflection like he is today once again. Help him make better judgments in his speeches. Help him stand up, like a man, and be like, look, I'm gonna say I said the wrong things about the Mexicans, but let me say the good things about them. You know what I mean? And the honest truth. People recognize the truth when it's being spoken by somebody who's saying the truth, and people also recognize the bullshit when it's being spoken out of a pipe. You know what I mean? It's all smoke and shit. So uh, just I guess mold the people's heart to get them a better thinking, place justice on that individual that committed that action, and if it's a death penalty, you well deserves it. An eye for eye and a hand for a hand. That's what you written in scripture. So show no pity. What what needs to be done needs to be done. And at the end of the day, a man's decision is your decision, because you're the one that holds the final law and knows what happens with every individual's actions and reactions. So with that being said, I want to kill this prayer with saying amen. Alright, that's basically, I think I covered everything that I needed to be said and what I feel about the situation. Please leave your comments, subscribe, pass this video on to share it with any individual that you may know, and let me know how you feel about the situation, and do we think that America and mostly the white individuals are the situation that is creating themselves into terrorists, their own selves. Alright, thank you. Stay tuned, ladies.